Well, we talk with Mark Stiles, attorney Mark Stiles, every Friday at this time. Mark's office is located on Route 139 in Marshfield. And we get into a lot of issues about real estate. We've talked certainly a lot about buying and selling homes. It's kind of an interesting topic that came up. Somebody wanted to talk about surveillance. It's kind of interesting because if you see, chances are these things have helped out when it comes to porch pirates. A lot of people have, I guess it's called Ring is a popular brand, Ring camera. It's also used to put people that slip and fall. You see those go up on YouTube as well. So many things you can see with a camera nowadays, Mark. And that's interesting. When it comes to buying and selling a home, what about all this surveillance when it comes to cameras outside and in the home?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of phone calls from our referral partners, the real estate agents who are exclusively listing a property and marketing a property for someone who has these surveillance technologies within their home, and they have to be very, very careful. And there's a lot of reasons why we're advising against that. I know that there's a need for people to feel safe, that people aren't going into their closets and stealing from them. So there's ample reasons why people would want to do that. But what they need to understand is that there are certain laws protecting people with their expectation of privacy. So when we talk about the expectation of privacy, we talk about, in essence, wiretapping, right? So wiretapping, going back to Watergate and those types of arenas, there's federal laws, but Massachusetts has really, really strict laws. They're one of 11 states that has what's called a two-party consent when it comes to audio. Now, you don't really have an expectation of privacy with the video portion of it, but we highly recommend the people listing their properties to notify. If they want to be super cautious, have the folks walking through their home acknowledge that they're being video recorded. We always tell people who are going through people's homes to please, pretty please understand that you are probably being recorded. So what you do and say and your facial expressions will have meaning for those folks. But when it comes to audio, there has to be what's called two-party consent. So the folks that are being recorded have to acknowledge that they're being recorded. And if they aren't acknowledging that, then there's strict penalties. And in Massachusetts, they're really strict with jail time. And the real estate agent who knowingly allows that could also be considered a conspirator to that. So
they could face penalty as well. Okay. So this would be the case of going through for an open house and having all of them recorded. I never even thought about that when I went, looking around for a house, that I could potentially be recorded, but also my voice could be used as well.
It could be, and they'd be committing a crime if they were using your voice. And the thing about it is that a baby monitor could pick up your voice, and that would be committing a crime as well. And you're using that information against the person who's making those verbal statements. So there is a crime being committed. So we caution people. We actually have been telling people, turn off all of your surveillances when people are coming through the house, because one of the things we're starting to see is we've talked about love letters on this show before, and how can a buyer put their best foot forward, and one of those ways was to present a letter saying how much they want to buy the house and how wonderful it'll be on Christmas morning for their kids to come running down the stairs. That's deemed housing discrimination now. So the industry is shunning those letters. In fact, we just saw that the state of Oregon has mandated that they're not allowed to be used at all. Right now, it's at the discretion and of the seller and the real estate professional working together to decide whether or not they want to use these. But there's risk of implied housing discrimination, right? So if somebody talks about a family, then these are kids, and you may be discriminating against same-sex marriages. The same could be true in the inverse when you're videotaping somebody. You could implicitly discriminate against somebody who's walking through your house, right? So you time it, you understand who that person was, you see them, and
I
they
don't like the way they look.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they act.
Yeah. So if there are two competing offers and somebody finds out that you were surveilling and know that, then maybe there's an argument to be had that their offer wasn't chosen because they didn't fit the profile of the seller who wanted to sell to another. So we're suggesting that we turn off all surveillances.
Yeah, just go back to the old days, when, you just have the open houses, let people walk through, and maybe the owner is hiding in a car across the street.
Yeah, it's funny. They could be hiding under the bed, and that wouldn't be illegal. I was talking to the general counsel of MAR, and you could hide under the bed and listen, but you can't record.
Okay, wow. Fascinating topic, especially again with all the technology that is now available. That's important and very important to think about. And as realtors out there listening, they should certainly know about this as well as you have those open houses going on. Mark Stiles, Stiles Laws on Route 139 in Marshfield. You can find out more at stiles-law.com, and people can get in touch with you, Mark, right?
They can. We are reached by telephone at 781-319-1900. But I encourage everyone to jump over to our YouTube channel. We've put together a bunch of content there. We have over 100 videos of frequently asked questions, such as the one we're talking about right here, that are very helpful for buyers and sellers, but also homeowners looking for estate planning and other such legal services.
All right, that's attorney Mark Stiles of Stiles Law on Route 139 in Marshfield. He's with us every Friday for Feel Good Friday. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Rob.
Have a
Talk
good
to you
weekend.
next week.